Hello, beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is. Woo! So here we are. I'll tell you, this is a dream come true for Starlight, is being out in nature. I always wanted to live off the land, long time ago, believe me. And here I am. Imagine that. I manifested this. So anyway, I love you all and welcome to my YouTube channel. And thank you for the new subscribers. Yay! Woo! Yes, thank you. And also, if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. And you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. And also, thank you for all of you who give me thumbs up and who have subscribed to my YouTube channel, plus those of you who leave Starlight a message on her YouTube channel. So thank you, all of you. Yay! Woo! Thank you. And also, anyone that would love to ask any question, I'm telling you, I am open. I don't care even what the topic is about, even the things that nobody wants to talk about. You know, don't be afraid. Either reach out to me down below a video, or you can actually send me a question on either Instagram, and that is at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. So yes, feel free to ask away, because how are you going to learn anything unless you ask? You know, you want to know something? Ask. And keep asking. And don't give up on asking. So besides that, you can also, anyone who would love to send any love donations, you can through my Cash App. And I will have that information here. Ding! There it is. So, Starlight's got a special video for those car camping people out there, that people that want to get off the grid. People that have had enough. They've had enough. Haven't you had enough? I've had enough. So a lot of people have had enough. They're tired of, you know, the whole mind game out here as far as how to live free, how to live and enjoy a life and be happy, and actually, you know, like have income and actually enjoy your life, you know. So there's a lot of people, they realize that you know, it's a joke to, you know, being a single person, going out and doing the 9 to 5 and working their ass off like a slave, and then not even be able to afford to pay for rent, the car, and all the bills, you know. And this is for people that are not big spenders, you know. They just want to live and be happy. But the way this matrix and the stimulation is, it wasn't meant for you to be happy and be free and abundant in this reality. So anyway, today's video is about car camping without a sink. How, you know, like, because you know what, there's going to be times you might not be able to get to a sink, you know. Maybe there's, like right now, in the one park out in this area, there are people that reserve the space where the sink is and the bathroom is and all the picnic tables are and the outlets, you know, and the water, you know. There's a beautiful sink outside that you can clean your dishes. Guess what? I can't go there because that space has been paid for. Somebody reserved that ahead of time through the whole summer to help kids that are on summer vacation right now. So I already have everything set up. Now this water here, this is just a frying pan. So if you only got like a few dishes that you need to clean up, and that you can't see all the dishes because they're on this side, so I can get to them. And this is great for people that might not even know how to clean dishes, you know. And this water actually it's just bleach water. I don't have any dish soap, but you know, if you have dish soap, it's great to use it. But this has got bleach water in here. It really, the major part, I wasn't going to make this video, but I said, you know what, screw it, I'm going to make it, because it's about pulling over on the side of the road, eating something, getting your dishes done. And when I say done, that means they're rinsed off and they're not loaded with food. You don't want, it's not good to have dishes in your car when you got, you know, like right here, this plate here has got like honey onto it. It's got blueberry juice on there, you know, a touch of oil, you know, from a pancake, a blueberry pancake that Starlight made, you know, so the honey is going to draw bugs, you know, so it's so important to do your dishes as soon as possible, when possible. So Starlight is learning a whole lot of stuff car camping. It goes level, you know, there's levels to the shit as far as learning how to do things. And so I'll be right back. I'm going to show you what I do, and it's really important to do this, making space for these items because you're going to need them. So I'll be right back at it. Alrighty, so I know what container is what. So you're going to want like containers with water when you're, you know, car camping all the time, all the time, all the time. Guess why? Because shit happens when you're car camping. So this is actually a container that I use to do my hair with, you know. I need a new one that doesn't have any, this was just a juice container, but I need one just like this size so it fits underneath a faucet in a bathroom somewhere so I can clean my hair. Because not all the time in the bathroom you're going to be able to stick your big head under the faucet and be able to, you know, because all the faucets and sinks are different. So it's good to have a good size container like this, not too tall, not too, you know, this is perfect size. And this was just like, you know, apple juice. I don't think I drink this stuff, but so it's good to have like something like this for, you know, in hair cleaning, but that's not what we're talking about today. I just wanted to explain what that is. But this container actually used to have, I did actually drink this, somebody gave me this. It was black tea. This was black tea, and I believe this was not sweetened, but this is water with bleach. So I fill this up with water, and this, I get this at the Dollar Tree, so you don't want anything big and bulky when it comes to car camping. So this was just what I needed, or you can even do tablets, which is even better because they're small, but not all the Dollar Trees, you know, if you can find bleach tablets, they're great because it saves on space. But if not, you know, a small little container of bleach is perfect. That way you're killing any germs and all that stuff from your dishes. If this is just to really kind of keep things rinsed off and keep the bugs away from, you know, in your car, so you don't have infestation of bugs. So this is my bleach water. So I have you know, this is all I need. And I always keep on refilling it. Like right now, I need to get more bleach. So that's my bleach water. And you only need a little bit of bleach. You don't need a lot of bleach to put in there. You know, I would say like 1/3 or 1/4 of bleach to go in that container. And this is just plain water that I get at parks that has like the drinking water, not the faucet. This is not faucet water, but you could use faucet water for this because this is whatever water you use. Like I actually use this water for a couple of things. I use this for, but this has been mainly just from, you know, in parks where it's drinking water that filters a lot of stuff. It doesn't filter everything out, but it's safer than using the faucet water. But the best that you can do is actually have spring water on hand. That way it's not, you know, even though this doesn't filter everything out, if you have spring water, then you don't have to worry about that, and you can get, you know, gallon jugs of that in your car. So it's all up to you what kind of water, but I use this to also rinse off my vegetables. So so this I didn't realize I was going to talk about so many things, but since I'm here I might as well do this anyway. So this is to rinse off my vegetables, which I have this handy enough that I can grab this, is I get like a container like this, pour the water in there, and then I can clean my, you know, depending on how much vegetables you have, you might not need this size, you know, so you got to kind of have the right containers for whatever it is that you plan on rinsing off. You definitely want to rinse off your vegetables Now, I haven't done this, but my mother does this, is she always rinses all her vegetables off, like vinegar in water, and rinse all your vegetables off, or however you do that. But it's good to make sure you rinse your vegetables off when needed. Even like I did that last night to my squash. No, my zucchini. I did that to my zucchini. I had that in water, rinsed it off, then I cut it, and cooked it, whatever I made. And so but you're going to need more than this. I used to only have this in the one container, and now I found this awesome, strong container of spring water. Of course, it was empty. And so Starlight filled this up, refilled this. This is a beautiful container. And so then I have enough for dishes. So Starlight already has bleach water in here, but what I'm going to do in this pan, you can use a small pan like this or even a bowl, depending on what you have in your car as far as containers. And if you don't have anything like this, see, this pan is already dirty. So I'm like, hey, this is I already did this before, so I know it works. This is a great, thing to use when you only got a few. That's all I got, is a few things that need to get cleaned up so I can move on my day. And, besides, I'm going to be cooking still out here. But this is a great size. But if you got a lot of dishes, then you're going to want something like this, and this has only been used for cleaning things off, rinsing things off. I bought this for one reason, but I never even used it. So, and I never used it for what I was buying it for. So it's really to hold my clean dishes, so I can get to those, and it's not in bags where it's going to get nasty, and I can always rinse that out. So now you want to always make sure you got enough water for rinsing. So if you ever need to pull off the road, you're hungry, or at night, and you want to cook, and you don't have a sink, well, this is what you're going to need to do, is to have some kind of thing to rinse everything off. And a washcloth really comes in handy, a dishcloth or whatever. So Starlight already has something in here, and this was my bowl from pancakes, so I'm just going to rinse this out. And you really want to get this stuff in water. That's why I kind of threw this in here to soften it up. You don't want your stuff getting so hard, on your dishes. And normally I wouldn't actually clean this first, but it did need to soak so it doesn't, it doesn't take longer to clean. And I have it on my cooler just to kind of bring things up in the air a little bit more so you can see what I'm doing instead of me hurting my back or anything like that too. So I don't have that part figured out. So I'm just going to set this over here for now. And so for dishwashing is that you always, what do you think you ought to clean first? The frying pan? No, you don't want to cook the frying pan. You don't want to, what do you think you ought to clean first? The frying pan? No, you don't want to clean the frying pan first. A lot of times with the frying pan, it's going to have oils, and it's going to get your water dirty super quick, and then it's going to make all your other dirty dishes even, oily. So what you want to do is, that was just, like flour and ingredients for pancakes, and, so this was just to rinse my blueberries off. So I'm just going to make sure I get any blueberry juice out of there. And this is really, like I said, I don't have dish soap. That's something that I need to get. But this is really just to make sure, if you got dish soap, it's great to use it. So that way, it's about getting the dishes rinsed off right now. And so Starlight's got a fork and a spoon. So rinse those off, clean them up, so that way, you know what, you can go to bed and not have to worry about it. And you got to make things happen in this situation, so there's going to be times that things are tight. You might have emergencies or something like that. Something happens and you're like, oh shit, we got a flat tire and we're out here, and now what? So now you know what to do. And if you have two containers, that's great. You can have your like your cleaning water. But Starlight is just really just rinsing the stuff off quick, so then I can move on my day. And we're making it happen with just a small pan here like I'm doing. So this was my plate that I ate off of, so it's not too greasy because it didn't have a lot of oil. So it's just really so you can get going, and I got this towel there, so there's that. Put these dirty dishes on there. Now let me see, I gotta look around. Okay, so now I do have this pan here. I'm just gonna clean the inside of this pan because it's got some pancake stuff on it from earlier that did dry. See, that's why you want to get this stuff, you don't want your nasty stuff, that's gonna dry up and be hard to clean. And there's my spatula. So you don't want a smaller container than this. It's got to be this size or bigger, especially if you only got a few things to clean, and it saves on how much water you use in, instead of using that big I think that's like a 5-gallon bucket, and of course if you have a 5-gallon bucket, you're going to need a lot of water. So of course you can always fill it just halfway, and that's why you want to make sure that you always have enough water on hand. Starlight's going to cheat here. So I'm going to use my fork to scrape off the hard stuff on there to kind of speeden it up, and I don't have to use my fingernails. So yeah, you want to save the greasy stuff last. You don't want to, like right now I can see greasy spots in the water. So it's so important to, clean the cleanest things first, then the dirty stuff. So some people never figured that out even at home, but this way you can learn, okay, let me do the cleanest stuff like cups and plates, depending on what they had on them, and save the greasy stuff at the end. And you really want to clean these up really good because, you don't want to draw bugs in your car. There we go. Now the frying pan. Like I said, you don't want to use anything smaller like this. I'm making this happen I've done this before, and it all depends on what you're cleaning, and if, like right here, there's some oil in there, so I'm gonna just paper towels is really great to use because you can wipe out all this nasty grease and oil or whatever out first before you stick it in the water. If you got any, paper towels would be the best if you have them, but Starlight doesn't, and I'm not going to use my toilet paper on this. I would need an awful lot of toilet paper because if you don't have enough, it's going to have toilet paper stuck all over in the inside of your pan. So Starlight is going to clean her oily pan. And like I said, this is without using dish soap. And even like your stove, your whatever stove you use to actually cook, you always want to make sure you really clean it up really good. Like I've been really on top of my, you got to have things clean, because if you don't, you're going to draw bugs. But do you want bugs infestation in your car? I actually thought I had a bug infestation, but what it is I found out is where I parked. You ready for this? There was actually I didn't even know this. I was like, what the heck? It was so weird. I've never seen this and experienced this in my whole life. Never knew about it, and I had to research it. I was sitting in my car because of where I was parked. I didn't know this stuff happens, and I seen a cockroach on the outside of my window. And then I saw another one, and it's like, what the heck? I just got done driving, and my car only sat like for 5 minutes, and boom, a cockroach was on the outside of my car, and I didn't know that there's different types of cockroaches. So with a frying pan, it's okay. It's really, really actually okay that your pan actually has an oil on there. It's kind of like a protectant on your pan. So when you use it, you just want to make it clean. And so this pan is clean. So it's ready to use next time because, you know, they say even those Teflon pans, it's not good to actually wash in water, is to wipe them out, you know, with a towel and wipe them out because they're, you know, things don't stick to it, and the oil, you know, will kind of be ready for the next time when you use it. So, so that is where that will go. And then the last, but those cockroaches, what it was is that I didn't know that there's wood cockroaches. So they live out in the land. They live out in the woods. And so at first Starlight's freaking out. I thought, oh my, I got cockroaches in my, you know, on my car. And then I found them in my car, but my windows were open, and that's why they were in my car, is because they were, you know, flying in my car. And so it's like, you know, I've had ants fall out of the trees and land on me. I've had bugs fall out of trees and land on me. So I'm like, huh, do cockroaches live in trees? And then that's how I found out, is that there's such a thing as called wood cockroaches. You can look it up. And I thought when you've seen one cockroach, I thought they all were the same. But guess what? There's many different types of cockroaches, and there's different directions on how to get rid of all those cockroaches. So it said that they would never survive in a car because they don't want your food. They're, you know, a bug for outside. So my pan is ready to, I already wiped it out. I just gotta dump this out. I just gotta make sure, because I only heated up my cold coffee in this, so Starlight does not like wasting anything. So Starlight is gonna squeeze out her washcloth. And then at the end, all I need to do is wipe this out, and it's all good and clean for later on when I need to use it. You know, is that nice and clean. So, and like I said, this is bleach water out here, because that is what I have. And you want to make sure, this is what happened to Starlight one time, is make sure if you have two different containers, one with water and one with bleach water, and, you know, bleach water, like one time Starlight accidentally used the wrong water, and I realized it before it was too late. I'm like, wait a minute, that was, you know, so I know the square container is my bleach water, and then the other one is my just rinsing vegetables or doing dishes, or you never know, cleaning, you know, I use that bucket. I can use that bucket as even cleaning the inside of my car. So a bucket, it comes really handy. Like I said, I put all my most of all my clean dishes in that bucket, so that way it's all handy. And if I need to use the bucket, I just put all the dishes into a bag that I have that they're really super strong, and then I use the bucket, and then I can, you know, clean the bucket out and put my dishes back in there. And it's always good to do that anyway, because after a while of just like a strainer in a house, you know, isn't it weird? You can clean dishes, rinse them off, put them in the strainer, clean them, rinse them off, put them in the strainer, clean them, rinse them off, put them in the strainer, clean them, rinse them off, you know. After a while in time, the strainer gets dirty. You're like, how is this possible? Well, the same thing happens when your car camp. You know, you clean it, put it in a, you know, container, clean it, put it in a container, and after a while you find food particles, and you're like, how is that possible? But it happens. So that is why it's not a bad thing that you need to use the bucket every so often. So then that way you can, hey, now I'm going to get the whole bucket clean. And once in a while, it's good to actually go through all your dishes, even your silverware. Like I have a cup, all my silverware goes in there except my utensils, like my can opener, my spatula. I got a big ass knife. Nobody wants to screw with Starlight. You know, great for chopping. I got big stirring spoons that I have, and that's in a drawer. That's all separate. You know, it's too big and too clumsy, because I have all my silverware in the front, so that way when I eat in my car, because hey, when it rains, guess what? I'm in my car eating. So I always have my silverware really handy in the front, so that way when I'm in there, I can grab my fork, spoon, knife, or whatever I need, and it's all available. So these are what these are tips that Starlight does, and I also have my cutting board out here. So I really hope you get a lot of help from this video, and you really do. You're really going to want a big ass container like this, at least. You don't need, you know, this container, and then you always want to make sure you refill all these containers all the time, all the time, all the time. Like when both of these two containers were full, except for that one big one, because Starlight forgot. But you always want to have them full. When you empty them out, fill them up, you know, because you're gonna go down the road and you're like, hey, we're gonna pull over on the road, and you're gonna be thinking, do I have everything that I need? Yeah, I got all my water, everything is here. And then you pull over on the side of the road, get everything set up, and then you realize, oh shit, you guess what? I forgot to refill now I got all these dirty dishes. I can't absolutely do nothing with them because I didn't refill these bottles. So it's so important when you have a water supply somewhere that is, you know, safe water. Really, you don't want to do it out the faucet, but even if you get spring water from a store, that would be the best option that you could do. Is, yeah, it's going to cost a little bit of money doing it, but if that's what it is, that's what it is. But Starlight does get the water from those the water units out at parks. So anyway, that is for my cleaning and rinsing off vegetables. So I really hope you get a lot of help from this video. This is Starlight, and namaste. This is Starlight, love, light, and